Hi guys, welcome back to the Sing Confidently Live Creatively podcast. Estelle here. Today I wanted to share with you a couple of thoughts that I was having about how we keep going and move forward as singers, performers, creatives in our 20s and up, in our adult years, like post-college, especially if you're like me and you came into this career path or just like intentional creative outlet, as I like to call it, which is like a hobby, but you're being intentional about it, right? Especially if you came into this as an adult, having like maybe done something else in college, done something else for school, and then you're deciding to go on this path as a creative and an artist. Like there are just going to be days where you feel defeated, where you feel like it's not working, where you feel like you're going backwards, where you feel like you're not doing the thing that you wanted to do, and you're still on this journey and you're not quite to where you want to be yet, but you know that you want to keep moving forward, but you're frustrated, or you find yourself just feeling uncertain. And I want to share what has helped me, what helps me in those moments, what is helping me currently when I have those moments, as I'm currently having in this moment. Just feeling a little bit frustrated and feeling like, when is this going to happen the way that I want it to happen? So I would love to share a couple of things that are helpful to me. And I talk about these actually in part one of step one of my 4 steps for building confidence as a singer and a performer. And I think whatever level you are in this journey, whether you're literally just beginning or you have been doing this and you just need a little bit more encouragement and empowerment, like these 4 steps of building confidence as a singer are things that we need to be doing over and over and over again. And in my course, the Sing Confidently course, which I'm currently revamping to be the Sing Confidently course, like 2.0 version, basically. In that course, I go through these 4 steps, and these are basically this is like, it's not really like steps, it's more like a cycle, but these are the things that I'm constantly doing. And right now I'm re-recording those steps in the course. So those of you who have already purchased the course, who are already in the course, you have lifetime access to it. So you're going to see all the updates as I continue to update it, as I continue to work on it, which is awesome. But I was just recording part 1 of the step 1, which is knowing your voice. And it's very much about knowing who you are as an artist and a performer and a creative. And I actually separated that into 2 parts because I realized that I needed to have a section on mindset, because that's something that we need to have, we need to have a good handle on if we're going to be successful, whatever that looks like for you. As performers, as singers, as creatives, we have to have our mindset down. And what's key in that mindset piece is some of the keys in that mindset piece are what I want to talk about today. They're the things that help me to keep going even when I feel frustrated, and I hope that they help you too. So that's a little bit about the behind the scenes, and how I'm feeling currently is just like I'm in this journey of like finishing my program. I'm doing a master's in music and music education. And I'm really excited to finish it, hopefully next spring, definitely next spring, by God's grace. That is the goal. That is the aim. I literally left medical school and went on this journey to become a full-time performing artist because I knew this was what I wanted to do. And I was absolutely determined to make it happen. Literally got into Columbia to do this, and I'm ready to finish it. I'm ready to achieve that really big goal for myself. And so that's something that I'm really working towards. And in that journey of doing that, I'm doing whatever I can to pay for that program through the work that I want to do, through doing work of making music, teaching voice, music directing. And that's where I am right now. That's what I'm doing right now, while I still continue to build my online studio called Creatively Performing Arts, while I still continue to create this podcast to help other artists on this journey so that we're not alone. And while I still continue to be singing myself and, writing songs and acting currently in a show, so all these things that I'm doing so that I can be this artist that I really desire to be. I want to be performing, and I also want to teach voice. I also want to teach music. I also want to be, teaching the art that I'm also doing, but I'm also finishing my program. So it's just so much on the plate, and there's so much on my plate, which is totally cool. That's what I wanted. I wanted to do that because I knew that I was able to, if I was able to do that, I'd be able to like get on the other side and be really proud of myself. And at the same time, in the midst of doing the work that you want to do, you will experience frustration. And so I just want you guys to know that you're not alone. Like, I experienced that too. And I'm right there with you. And I want to encourage you today with some practical things you can do. Before I dive into those steps that I want to go over about the mindset piece to help you keep going as a creative, as a performer in this journey, I just want to remind you guys that if you've listened to this show before, hi, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. And if you haven't listened to this show, hello, it's so nice to meet you. My name's Estelle. And like I said, I'm a voice teacher, a music teacher, and singer/performing artist. And I have an online voice studio called Creatively Performing Arts, as well as, and part of that studio is this podcast, where I speak to adults and help you guys also pursue your dreams as singers, performers, and creatives. And so if you have never listened to the show before, welcome again. But if you have, I would just love to remind you to please leave a review, because that's how I can hear from you guys about what you like. You know, if you like me chatting to you about like what's happening in my life and how that can encourage you, how I can encourage you with what I'm learning, like I would love for you to say that. If you like more warm-ups, I would love for you to say that too. If you like more interviews, I would love for you to say that too. Or if you just want to say what you are learning, what you're growing in, you know, even if it's just taking 30 seconds to scroll down on Apple Podcasts and leave a review, I would just be super, 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 super grateful, please. So please go ahead and do that if you haven't already. But if it's your first time, you know, no pressure, but you can also feel free to leave a review if you like this episode. All right, that's all I wanted to remind you about. So let's get into these two main points that I want to talk about in order to help yourself keep going when it gets hard, when you feel frustrated on this journey. Number one is honestly journaling through your why. What is the reason that you started this in the first place? And journaling can look like writing on paper. Journaling can look like talking it out with a friend or a loved one. Journaling can look like talking into your phone, leaving yourself a voice note, writing a song about it, a poem about it. Honestly, I'm kind of journaling a little bit right now because I shared with you guys a little bit about my journey, and like that kind of helps remind me about like, look how far I've come, you know, look at where I am now, you know. And so you need to kind of journal or somehow in some way write out or speak out your why. Remind yourself of why you started in the first place. Why did you start taking voice lessons? Why did you start auditioning for musical theater productions? Why did you start fill in the blank? Whatever you're doing as an artist, as a creative right now. If you don't remember why, it's going to be so hard to keep going because a lot of things are going to get in the way. A lot of distractions are going to come. A lot of fear is going to come up, right? So reminding yourself of your why, whether through journaling, through talking to a friend, reflecting in that way, is going to really, really help you to reconnect to that passion that you had when you first started. So that is like one of the most practical things you can do is when you are feeling frustrated, aside from taking a break, which I guess would be like a bonus, like take a break if you're feeling really frustrated with your art, with your music, with whatever you're doing, auditions, with teaching music, take a break, take a moment to just like not think about it if you can, do something else for fun, however long you need. But like at the end of that break time, don't make it too long, but at the end of that break time, whether it's a day, whether it's an hour, whether it's a week, at the end of that break time, before you go back to trying to do your art and find yourself continuing to feel frustrated, journal about your why. Remind yourself of why you started this in the first place so that you can refuel that passion for yourself. The second thing I want to talk to you about mindset-wise is to envision or visualize that dream. So the why is like the reason that you started in the first place, and it could be like directly connected to your dream, or it could be like a little bit of like a deeper, more heart position. So for me, I would think like your why could be like, I just want to feel like, for me, my why is like, I just want to feel creative every single day. I just want to feel like I'm doing something musical and creative every single day. It's as simple as that, because I know that is something that God has put in my heart and he has a reason for that. And that feels like calling, But dream, when I envision my dream is different. The dream is different. The dream is like that big, it's something that you can literally see in your mind. You could draw it out, you could write it on paper, and like you could just see it. That is what I'm talking about. After you've like journaled over your why and like the calling, the reason that you started, then that's kind of like going to the past. It's like kind of going deep inside yourself and thinking of yourself in the past. But then your dream is kind of like envisioning your future and like thinking outside of yourself, like what's the biggest, best thing that could happen if and when you keep going, when you keep taking dance classes, when you keep taking voice, when you keep going to teach voice lessons, when you keep doing X, Y, or Z. What is that dream? You need to envision it. You need to like, bam, like put it in front of your face on a picture, or like just like close your eyes and just like dream about it for however long. Just start to envision that dream one more time. And you can literally do that right now. So your homework that I'm giving you after this episode is done is to journal over your why and then dream big. Is your dream to be on Broadway? Dream about what that would feel like. What would that look like? Is your dream to have your own studio, teaching dance? Dream about that. Is your dream to be in, what else could it be? Be a singer-songwriter, performing as a local talent, right? Whatever it is, can you envision that and let yourself feel into that? And those are two practical things to help get your mindset back on track so that you do not give up. Because if you give up now, you will not be able to achieve that dream. You know what I mean? So reminding yourself of your why through journaling or reflecting in some way. And then number 2, envision that dream one more time. Those are 2 things that I really, really, really encourage you to do. If you need more support in this, if you really want to have support in this, and then know the next practical steps to keep growing as a singer and a performer, when it comes to knowing how your voice works, when it comes to actually learning how to practice, learning how to put yourself out there on stages, learning how to put yourself out there online, then you can check out my course, the Sing Confidently course. Like I mentioned, right now it's on sale because I'm going to update it soon. And so if you get it right now on at the discount, you'll be able to have lifetime access to it. So that when I update it, when I launch the 2.0 before the end of the year, you'll be able to have all the goodies, all the updated videos, updated journaling prompts and worksheets, updated vocal warm-ups, and I'm going to add a song library as well, I believe. So yeah, go to creativelybyestelle.com/course to check that out if you'd like to jump in there and get started with that. But again, creativelybyestelle.com/course. Oop, I just bit my tongue. creativelybyestelle.com/course to jump in there. And I'd be happy to support you with the next practical steps to keep growing as a singer and a performer with confidence. But this is the mindset piece that we all need. I'm glad I got to chat it out with you all. So I hope this encouraged you. Again, leave a review if you never have. I'd love to hear from you. But other than that, I hope you have an amazing day and I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode and to this show. I'm so in awe of you for being here and showing up for your creative gifts. That takes courage. Don't forget to join the Performing Arts community on Facebook for support and inspiration as you continue on your journey. If this episode helped or inspired you in any way, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts and share it with someone. It means so much. Thank you again, and don't forget to keep singing, acting, dancing, performing, and living creatively. Talk to you next time.